Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This will be my first vinyl update video on this channel for the year 2017. Hope the new year's treating all of you just fine. I'm gonna have also have a Beatles update video, but it's gonna take about a couple weeks as I'm still waiting for all the records to arrive. But this will be vinyl finds of all kinds, not to mean Mr. Mayo. Of records by different artists. So hope you enjoy this update. I have a killer stack of records I can't wait to show in this update, so hope you enjoy it. Okay, first vinyl find, it's a Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab pressing. I bought this during the holiday season. Stevie Nicks, Belladonna, really nice condition. And it has an insert here. Insert looks really nice. Has the lyrics. Mobile Fidelity Sound Lab reply, business reply mail. And the record. Record's in wonderful condition. Okay, here's a vinyl find from, next vinyl find is from my trip to Ohio. I went to Ohio last week to see my family and friends. Had a great time in Ohio. It was pretty cold. It was rainy. At least there was no winter storm. Next vinyl find. This was pretty cheap. This is Peter Gabriel, the Melted Face album from 1980, I think. Back of it, it's a US pressing. That's the song list here. This has the song Games Without Frontiers, which is one of my favorite Peter Gabriel songs. This is on the Mercury label. Okay, I have a couple of George Michael finds. I bought these records shortly after he passed away, near the end of 2016. Another terrible loss in the pop music world. Next vinyl find, I received this in the mail a couple weeks ago. This didn't cost a lot. It's a 12-inch promo. Careless Whisper, Wham featuring George Michael. Careless Whisper is one of my favorite 80s songs and also one of my favorite George Michael songs, obviously. This one's in wonderful condition. Record plays at 33 1/3. Now, I think I have a Wham 12-inch record somewhere in my collection. I did show it on this channel a long time ago. Next vinyl find is a George Michael's first solo album since leaving Wham. Faith, Canadian pressing. Inner sleeve here, picture of George Michael. It's on Columbia. Nice Canadian pressing. All right. Okay, next vinyl find. We're gonna go from the 80s to the 60s. For these next set of vinyl finds here, as well as a couple of 1970s records and a couple of 1990s records, which I'm gonna show you later in this video. Next vinyl find, local record store find. This is the Doors' third album, Waiting for the Sun. This is original US pressing. Has a hype sticker, includes Hello I Love You. Gatefold. Inner sleeve, Electra inner sleeve, records in stereo. There's a mono of this, but it's very rare. Original Electra label. This next vinyl find was also from my trip to Ohio. This was very cheap. The Greatest Hits of Eric Burdon and the Animals. This is later Animals. Doesn't have the classic lineup, the original classic lineup that played that performed the hit songs like House of the Rising Sun and also Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood and Gotta Get Out of This Place. But this is like later era of the Animals, except it's that they were referred to as Eric Burdon and the Animals. Back of it, that's the song list there. It's on the MGM label. Record's in nice condition. Okay, this next find is not from my trip to Ohio. This was my recent vinyl find at my local record store. I've been wanting this Deep Purple album for a while, and I finally got it. In Rock, U.S. pressing. This was a cheap find. It's got some rare wear, as you can see, on both sides, the front and back. There was a gatefold, Warner Brothers inner sleeve here, and this is on the Warner Brothers Olive label here. Alright, next vinyl find is Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. This is the original Bizarre pressing. It's got a wear on the back, as you can see. Gatefold. This is mostly an instrumental album. There's a song that's sung by Captain Beefheart, which is called Willie the Pimp. That's actually one of my favorite songs on this album, but I love the instrumentals on this too, like the opening track, Peaches and Regalia. Sorry if I didn't pronounce that right. Really nice condition. It looked like it was well played, but I played some of the tracks, and the record sounds really good. Alright, exciting part here. A couple of Led Zeppelin finds, both from my trip to Ohio. This one is a pirate. I bought this from a record store called Finders in Northwest Ohio. Next vinyl find. This is a reproduction. This is an unauthorized reproduction. This is Led Zeppelin 1, the turquoise lettering pressing, though it's technically blue. Backside. I can live with this for now until I can find a nice copy of the turquoise lettering pressing for a nice price without having to pay too much. And this is the record here. This is a reproduction of the Atlantic Plum label. I already have the authentic one, but it doesn't have the jacket with the Led Zeppelin turquoise lettering. But I do have an authentic one that looks like this. The record I'm talking about. Cover here is a reproduction. I'm still on the lookout for the original if I can find it. Find it for a nice little price. Alright. Okay, next vinyl find. Another one from my Ohio trip. Led Zeppelin 4. This is a 1976 Japanese pressing. I wish this was the first pressing, but I can live with this for now. It looks really nice. Here's the insert here. Insert's in nice shape here. Gatefold. Has the original inner sleeve here with the lyrics. Record. Japanese vinyl. And this record looks like it was never played. There's not one spindle mark on this thing, but I did play a little bit of the record. Sounds really good. All right. Okay. Onto some Pink Floyd finds, also from the Buckeyes, from my trip to the Buckeye State. This is a French pressing of soundtrack from the film More. This is their third album, and it's on the Cloud label. This album, I love Pink Floyd, but this is not really an album I'm too familiar with. But I do know some of the songs, which are on the Relics album. But I listened to a little bit of it. It sounds like an interesting album. Alright. Another Pink Floyd album. This was a $6 find from my Ohio trip. And I already have the German pressing of this album. I thought, why not? You know, I'll just get this for $6 so I can play this and leave my German pressing alone, which is very rare. Next vinyl find. Pink Floyd The Wall. US pressing. It's on Columbia. No record here. US pressing. I really don't need to show both records. You know, most of you are very familiar with this album. Really good album. This is a really good album. Not my #1 favorite, but really good album. You know, favorite Pink Floyd album always changes, but this is usually like one of my top 5 Pink Floyd albums. Alright, next vinyl find is Black Sabbath Volume 4. This is a Spanish pressing on the NEMS label, also from my trip. It's on the NEMS label. Okay, I just have a few more vinyl finds. These are these ones I just bought this week. 2 of these records are by Guns N' Roses. It's a part 1 and part 2. Here's part 1. This is Use Your Illusion 1. Has a hype sticker and the parental advisory explicit lyrics. It's got some songs on some of the highlights on here is a cover of "Live and Let Die," the Paul McCartney and Wings song, and I will say I understand a lot of people love that cover of the song, but I prefer the Paul McCartney original. It's the back of it. This is a U.S. pressing, original U.S. first pressing. It's the inner sleeve here. Show record 2 here. I listened to a lot of the album. I haven't heard the whole thing. It's got some really good songs, including the classic November Rain. November Rain opens side 3 on this album. Record 2. Alright, quickly show Use Your Illusion 2. This one has some really good songs. I haven't heard, I listened through a lot of it. Civil War, the opening song, that's my favorite on this album. Another one I like is I like You Could Be Mine, which was on which was in the Terminator 2 movie. Here's a record here. This is the original U.S. pressing. It also has a cover of Bob Dylan's "Knocking on Heaven's Door." It's a nice version. It's fine. That's another one I hear too much on the radio and I get annoyed hearing it. Here's a record 2. Inner sleeve. Really nice inner sleeve here. Neither of these two Guns N' Roses albums are gatefolds, but you know, that's how they made the vinyl back then, because I think no one cared for vinyl that time, so they didn't bother making the albums gatefold. This is record 2 here. You Could Be Mine is like the third to last song on this album. Alright, one more record to show for this update video. I just received this today. It's a Rolling Stones record, Let It Bleed. This is the UK Decca pressing, and it's in mono. This is a UK mono pressing. Very rare. Doesn't have the inner sleeve. It doesn't have the red Decca inner sleeve or the pulsar, but this is a very rare record. It goes for you know, ridiculous money, depending on condition. But this was a nice low price. Very happy to have this for a nice low price. Here's the record here. Let It red Decca label. That is the mono pressing. This was the last Stones album to be released in mono, and also the last album released on Decca. Last studio album to be released on Decca, because they released Get Your Yayas Out, which is a live album after this on Decca and on London. Alright. Okay, I'll put this away later. Alright, that is my vinyl update video. I hope you enjoy it. Stay tuned for more videos, and talk to you all later. Thank you.